everyone! So we are back today and it starts our series of toe up sock videos, and we'll be starting with cast-ons today. But before I launch into all of that fun stuff, I need to remind you my name is Kelly Slack. I was invited to guest teach by Heather of Pearly Shell Fiber Arts, so thank you again for inviting me. I do love to teach. I'm the co-owner of Black Sheep Fiber Emporium with my partner Tina. I'm a self-published author of 2 books, Hoppy Feet and Froth and Foam. I have 2 master's degrees in teaching. I really love to teach, and I also really love socks. I've made over 100 pairs, so while I don't know everything, I do know a lot. Let's see, what else do I need to tell you today? Don't forget that we have lovely sponsors. Socktober with Kelly is sponsored by Black Sheep Fiber Emporium, Kelly Slack Designs, that's me, and Pearly Shell with Heather. And don't forget that all of your lovely sponsors also have social media accounts, and you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, clearly because we're on Facebook right now, YouTube, and TikTok. So you can find us in whichever social media thing makes you the happiest. So whether that venue happens to be Facebook like we're teaching here, or YouTube. I am trying to remember to put all of the videos from our Facebook Lives on YouTube as well. So don't forget that you can check out the Black Sheep Fiber Emporium YouTube channel for more info. And I also have further videos there relating to cast-ons and bind-offs and all kinds of fun stuff. I do all kinds of fun stuff. So today I want to talk about toe-up socks. This is toe-up and toe-up cast-ons. And when we talk about toe-up cast-ons, there are a few that might come to mind. So there's the Turkish CastOn, which is very easy. There's the Figure 8 cast-on, also very easy. There's Judy's Magic cast-on, also very easy. And then there's one you may not have heard of, and that's Kelly's, because I came up with one as well. It's very similar to Judy's. Turns out I was actually doing the Judy's wrong, and I had invented my own cast-on. So there we go. But I'm going to show you all 4 of those today. So let's look back at our sock chart. So this is our little diagram here. So today we'll be starting down here. So we're going to go toe up to make our socks. Toe up socks have some advantages and disadvantages to top down socks. Of course, you can try on your sock as you go. You can do that too with a top down sock. It gives you hopefully a little better fit for your toes than you might get with a top-down sock, but again, you can mitigate a lot of that just by trying some different toe techniques. With all of the different techniques that I am showing you today, these cast-ons are meant to be sort of a folded circular cast-on, and they're meant for a set of 4 increases at the same time. Let me find one of my toe-up socks. So that as you are working your sock, you make sort of a wedge toe as you go along. And it would help if I could find that lovely yellow sock. But do you think I can find the lovely yellow sock? Never when I need it. Alright, we'll get the other one. There it is. So, and this one. So this is that wedge toe. Another option is that you can do a star increase. So you can increase in a star-shaped fashion on that toe as well. So it's just a regular folded cast-on. But if you want to, instead of doing that wedge-shaped increase like you see, you can go ahead and you can do a star-shaped increase instead. So the beautiful thing about socks is that you can always try new things, and there is no one single right or wrong way to make a sock. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera down, and we'll go ahead and look at some fun toe-up cast-ons. These toe-up cast-ons can also be used as top-down hat cast-ons or top-down mitten cast-ons. You could use them to start a bag. There's all kinds of things that you can do with them. So just because I say that this is a toe-up cast-on doesn't mean that that's the only reason you might want to know this cast-on. And I'm going to go through these fairly fast because Oh, and I have a helicopter above my house. Well, that's exciting. I live in the country. We don't get a ton of helicopters. All right. So with these cast-ons, I'm going to go through it pretty fast, but remember that I do have more in-depth videos on how to do all of these cast-ons on my Kelly Slack Designs YouTube channel, and they're also linked off of the blacksheepfiberemporium.com page. So you can find them in both of those places. I think it's also linked off of my kellyslackdesigns.com website as well. I do try to make education as accessible as I possibly can because I believe in education. So let's go ahead and turn this down, and I just wanted to also put a plug in for this book. If you don't have this, there are lots of cast-on books out there. This is one of my favorites. It's small, it's compact, it has the ring binding so it'll lay flat, and this happens to be one of my favorite cast-on bind-off books. It also has some really good diagrams in it, so if you are either a visual knitter or the kind of knitter who needs to read, this happens to be a good one. But if you like to follow along with videos, I have those available, like I said, on the YouTube channel. All right, let's get started. Let's look at the most simple of cast-ons when it comes to your toe-up cast-ons first. That one is going to be a Turkish cast-on. It's very, very easy, and I do need to get one more needle out because, hello! It's always good to have one more needle so I can show you how this works. Okay. And turn this down. There we go. All right. So, make sure that I have the camera. Okay. And a couple of needles. I'm showing you with double points, but do remember that you can do this with circulars or with those lovely flexible needles as well. I'm just using double points. That's what I happen to love, and that's what I happen to have on hand. So the Turkish cast-on is really easy because all you are doing is wrapping your stitches around your two needles. So what you need is two needles, and your yarn, whatever yarn it is that you're going to be using. I think that the Turkish is a little sloppier, but it does work. It's not a hard one to do at all, but getting the tension right can be difficult. So, yeah, you're going to hold your two needles together, put your tail in the back, and then you're going to work to wrap your yarn around your needles counterclockwise. Let me make sure I'm going counterclockwise. Yes, I am. And you'll wrap it until you have the number of stitches that you would need, and every wrap is 2 stitches, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, that would be 12 stitches cast on. When you get ready to knit, this is where the tricky bit is, because you just have yarn like wrapped around your needles, right? You just got yarn wrapped around your needles. So you have to make sure that you take the top needle you have to take a third needle, I should say, or if you're using 2 circulars or a magic loop, then you would pull your needle out, and these bottom loops would actually be on your cable. But I always like to kind of go in and I'm just gonna like knit through the back loop. Sorry, keep my yarn in the back, knit through this one's hard for me, knit through the back loop. And the other thing is you don't want your yarn to slide off the bottom. I've already screwed up because my yarn slid off the bottom. But that's like the key right there, is making sure that your needles stay put, and that as you go in and you're knitting, I'm gonna make this one a little bit longer, that, there we go. That's better. You are knitting off of one, and it is just a little bit sloppier because, again, all you're doing is just wrapping your yarn around your needles, right? Your cast-on is quite literally wrapping yarn around your needles. So when you go to do your first row of knitting, this is going to look a little bit sloppier. You can do it better than what I've done here, especially if you're using the magic loop method, so that you can put all of these bottom stitches on your cable, and then work your knitting across it. But that is the idea right there. You just continue around, and like I said, I always like to knit them to the back loop just because I feel like twisting that makes the toe a little less sloppy and a little more secure, but that's a personal thing. You don't have to do that. You might have a different idea of what you want to do with your toe. I'm sorry if that's really close to the camera there too. But that's the Turkish cast-on, and I need to move on to the next ones before my time runs out. I only have 15 minutes, so we got to keep moving. Figure 8 cast-on is very similar to the Turkish cast-on. You're just going to hold, I should do it this way, hold that tail between your 2 needles, and then you're going to, in a figure 8 motion, cast on your stitches. So you just slide them back and forth over your needles, and that's it. That's a figure 8 cast on, and just in the same manner that you would do with that Turkish cast on, then this one becomes the top needle, or actually I don't have the same number on 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There we go. This one's now the top needle, then you would knit across this one, then knit across that one. So there's your figure 8 cast on. Super simple. Figure 8 cast on, really, really easy. It's less sloppy, it's a little bit tighter than what the Turkish cast on is in the very tip of that toe. So I like the figure 8 just a little bit better. And I'm ranking them myself, right? So these are Kelly's rankings. Now, the next one is Judy's Magic Cast On. This one's really cool. And you're going to hold your yarn between the 2 needles again, and you're going to set up your hand like you're going to work the long tail. So you're going to make that slingshot loop, just like we did with the long tail. And then you move your hand back and forth and scoop the loops back and forth. So super cool movement, very comfortable, very easy to do, much tighter, much tidier, much nicer than the Turkish cast-on and the figure 8 cast-on as far as I'm concerned. And then again, you would just take your new needle and you would start working across your loops. And again, a lot of times I go ahead and I knit these through the back loop on the first go around because I like it to be a little tighter and a little tidier at that toe. I don't like it really loose and sloppy. I don't want that toe to, well, I don't want it to air out too much either. That's another thing. All right, and then the final cast-on for our top-down cast-ons. Again, very, very similar to Judy's Magic cast-on. This is where I went wrong, is I was holding my yarn down here, and I was going ahead and making the loop. So this is Kelly's cast-on, where you're going to make and drop the loop off of your thumb. It's a very tidy, very clean cast on. So it makes a nice little sort of a pearl bubble in the back, and makes a nice tidy cast on for center out and or toes. So to do that Kelly's cast on, this is my own little invention, very similar to Judy's. You just go ahead and you scoop the loop and drop your thumb, and then scoop a loop. Scoop a loop and drop your thumb, scoop a loop. Scoop a loop and drop your thumb. And the thumb one should always be the second movement so that you have, first movement, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So there we have 10 stitches. And then again, so the top of my stitches would be here. And if you want to, you can go ahead and just, like I said, turn around, work your stitches across both of these. All right, that is kind of the end of my time. So before we go, I have some reminders for you. All right. There we go. So you can work that Kelly's cast on either way, so that you end up with an odd number on either, or an even number, excuse me, on each side. Totally up to you. I have more videos on how to do the Kelly's cast on. Sometimes I put the tail on the right side, sometimes I put it on the left. It just depends on how I want my piece to look. Let's see, next time, so tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm teaching in the morning because I have some things to do in the afternoon. So I'm going to be here about 10:15-ish. I moved the time up just a little bit. 10:15-ish Central, and we're going to talk about the toe-up toes, and a little bit about the foot, but mostly the toe-up toes for toe-up socks. And we'll take a closer look at that wedge toe and the star toe for toe-up toes and talk about that. Let's see, what else will we talk about? Yeah, so the increased wedge, increased star, and the increased 4-point. So those are the things that we're going to talk about tomorrow. So if you're following along on our sock journey and you have been enjoying my little videos, don't forget to go give, you know, those little sponsors a little bit of love. So that's your Black Sheep Fiber Emporium, Kelly Slack Designs, and Pearly Shell. And just say, hey, thanks for having Kelly on. We've liked your videos. Gosh, I hope you've liked my videos. I'm trying to make them as entertaining and interactive and informative as I possibly can. So we'll continue on our sock journey. Let's see, this is video 9, so it'll be video 10 tomorrow, like I said, with toes. So anyway, until tomorrow, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, keep crafting, keep knitting, and I hope you're making some socks because it's Socktober, and that's really fun. So anyway, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.